She blinded me with science! That's right, Rachel Bloom, the crazy ex-girlfriend, and Bill Nye, the singing vagina guy. I guess that's what we're calling him now. If you haven't seen this thing, well, let me just roll you the first 30 seconds of the worst thing ever.
So, you guys, seriously, this next thing I feel is very special. This is a cool little segment. You know this woman from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Please give it up for Rachel Bloom.
This one goes out to all my bipeds who identify as ladies. This world of ours is full of choice, but must I choose between only John or Joyce? All my options only hard or moist. My vagina has its own voice, not vocal cords, a metaphorical voice. Sometimes I do a voice for my vagina. Please don't tell me I'm the only one who does that. 'Cause my sex junk is so much more than either or.
Hello, BillWhittle.com fans. I'm Steve Green with Bill Whittle, and of course Scott Ott. And this is the
former fans.
Former fans. I'm sorry I had to make you watch that, but there are things that must be seen, or you'll never regret not seeing them. Doesn't that make sense? Anyway, okay. So the point of this video, if it could be said to have a point, well, really, you've got when you've got a lyric like "My sex junk is so much more than either or." Cole Porter is just spinning in his grave on this one. Scott, the point of the video, though, is that sexuality exists on a spectrum. It's not just either this or that, which up until now had been arcane knowledge privy only to those who had done two things, which is complete puberty and left the house. Why do we have to celebrate this in this particular fashion?
I think part of it is because there's a whole generation of people who haven't yet left the house. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people just sitting around waiting for creative material like this. You know, as I unfortunately was subject to the entire video yesterday, I believe. The first thing that struck me was, and the main offense of the whole thing, frankly, is that the woman can't sing. I mean, come on. If you're going to do some sort of like parody song or something supposed to be entertaining, at least find somebody who can carry a tune. Beyond that, I think this was, you know, sort of a futile attempt to spread a message through entertainment. We've talked about this a lot. Yeah. The idea of instead of having, just white papers and talk shows, that conservatives really ought to be more active in the culture. Well, these people have done that. I mean, Bill Nye and this Rachel Bloom character have become part of the culture, and I'm sure that video is going to, probably get into the millions of views, but it's not going to be in the sense of people agreeing with them or even laughing along with them, but rather laughing at them. Now, you can make the case that anything that gets eyeballs is fantastic, but this guy who's masqueraded for how many years now as the science guy?
Yeah.
And this is the science we get?
That's not the way they taught it to me in school. And if you're not familiar, Rachel Bloom first claim to fame was as the crazy ex-girlfriend meme. And if you search for her on YouTube, which I did for you yesterday, so you can spare yourself, she is also the singer of such hits as I Steal Pets, Blank Me, Ray Bradbury, I cleaned that up, and You Can Touch My Boobies. So these are just a few of her other hits. But, Bill, let's leave the content of this aside for a moment. Scott brought up a great point, which is we're always losing these cultural battles. Meanwhile, we're losing them to a woman that the Ice Capades called and said, "We lost that dress in 1978. You can keep it." How are we losing?
We're not losing to this video.
Oh God!
No. This video is the best thing that happened to conservatism since Ronald Reagan. This video. When we did our conference call yesterday, you said there's this video, and you mentioned a few things that were in it. We all Scott and I just groaned. Yeah. And you said, this is the worst thing you've ever seen. And I said, it is. And then after I saw it, I realized it made me ashamed to be an American. It made me ashamed to be a human. It made me ashamed to be a mammal. I'm embarrassed I'm made out of the same solid matter as these people. Steve, this video was so bad that that it teed up the first firewall I've done in several months, called Bill Nye the Science Lie, and that's basically what it's about. It was a springboard into some of his positions on, just global warming, and he did a video that says if all the ice in the world melted, everything would be under 200 feet of water. And I did a little. Well, apparently it's true, but I checked.
You must have seen my new ice maker downstairs.
Well, I checked. I checked National Geographic, and they said if temperatures went from 58 to 80 degrees instantly, then it would take 5,000 years for that to happen. So, as I said in my firewall, I don't think the residents of Detroit are going to be around that long, given your progressive policies, Bill. But in any event, Steve, the whole purpose of Bill Nye Saves the Planet, the whole purpose of Bill Nye and that other fraud, Neil deGrasse Tyson, is to try and convince everybody on the left that everybody on the right is just science-hating, knuckle-dragging idiots. When in point of fact, as those of you who watch the firewall will find out, shutting these things down is so remarkably simple that even a child could do it. So this is what science is now. Science is now my junk, and something about, we can't handle these kind of scientific concepts like butt love and all the rest of the things that were presented in this scientific tract of monumental depth and importance.
It's certainly been peer-reviewed.
Yeah, I was wondering if it had been peer-reviewed.
It's the best thing that's happened to our team in a long time, and I hope it's seen by 100 million people, because this is, as you pointed out when we first saw it on PJ Media, I think it was our friend Michael Walsh said, this is why people voted for Trump, chapter 169,432.
Yeah, that may be an undercount too. We're going to demand a recount on that before we give you the final tally. Listen, folks, just last year I reread Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series, and I'd forgotten just politically, and when it comes to humanity, how on point the satire was. There was a great bit that this video reminded me of. He posited that there is a theory that if anyone ever figures out exactly what this universe is for and why it exists, that it will instantly disappear and be replaced by something even more weird and inexplicable, and that there is a second theory that the first theory has already happened. And I think that video I just made you watch is certainly proof of that. And if we live on a long enough timeline, every Douglas Adam bit becomes true. There's your right angle, made possible by the paying subscribers of BillWhittle.com, to whom we owe our thanks, and now, great big apologies. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
It's good to be on the other side of the end times, don't you think?